What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I am the Poetic Killer, and in today's video, we're going to be reading the poem Work of Art and Beyond All Things Possible. So, we're going to start off with Work of Art. All right, let's get to it. You can either be a wolf or a sheep. The road to success is truly runs deep. Sorry, let's start that again. You can either be a wolf or a sheep. The road to success truly runs deep. You can either control your emotions or be a slave. Food for thought should be the only desire you crave. Childhood traumas can leave an individual restless. Never allow other people's issue to spill over to be your business. Be cautious on who you allow to dwell in the space of your heart. Allow your mind to be imaginative. Show the world why you're a piece of art. Don't run away from your emotions. Tackle the problem head on. In your photo of experiences, make sure a piece of happiness is part of the collection, and that is work of art. Now it says you can either be a wolf or a sheep. The road to success truly runs deep. So it's just saying within circumstances in existence, you can either be an individual, a warrior, like a wolf, a predator that isn't scared to take what he needs to take to survive, or sometimes you might have to play the sheep. You might have to play being with the collective or being with the group of people and things like that, because sometimes you don't need to stand out. You don't need to be the individual that knows it all. You can come with the collective and do what you need to do, and when it's time for you to be an individual, then it's time for you to be an individual. So it's all about being that work of art. Okay, it experiences the art. And sometimes in the world of existence, you can either be that warrior, that warrior spirit, like a wolf, or you can be that meek and controlled spirit, like a sheep. You know what I'm saying? It's all about utilizing both aspects when it's needed and for each circumstance. And then it says, you can either control your emotions or be a slave. Food for thought should be the only desire you crave. So you can either control your emotions or be a slave. It's just saying control your emotions. Remember, you as the observer is controlling your emotions and your logic. I'm not saying emotions is a bad thing, because a lot of people in society will say things like, oh, it's all about logic, emotions is bad. But without emotions, there'll be no form of creativity. You know what I mean? There'll be no forms of even having a child, because you have to be emotionally connected to the woman to be able to be aroused to have a child. So everything still comes from the emotions when it comes to creativity. Even the subconscious is a form of emotion. You know what I mean? It's emotion, it's in motion. It's constantly creating. That's where it comes from. It comes from within, before it comes to the outside external world. So yeah, you don't want to be a slave to it. You want to be the observer controlling both aspects, your emotions and your logic, not letting your emotions control you as the observer, or letting your logic control you as the observer. When you're the observer, aka the atmosphere, you're utilizing both aspects of darkness and light, subconscious and consciousness, internal and external. And then it says, food for thought should be the only desire you crave. So, food for thought is just talking about just like you ingest food physically to be able to utilize its energy to interact with the world and get things done. That's the same way that your internal body also utilizes energy, aka forms of information, to utilize to move around in the astral realm to do things also. So you have to make sure that whatever you're ingesting physically or internally is healthy for your vessel to be able to utilize it to its best ability. And then it says, childhood traumas can leave an individual restless. Never allow other people's issue to spill over to be your business. So childhood traumas, it can leave an individual restless. So whatever you ever went through as a child, that those type of things is something that you have to learn how to take care of and deal with and master during lifetimes. Sometimes it could be during lifetimes, or it could be during periods of life that you're going through. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it can just randomly come up. That's why you have to do that constant work of always trying to heal yourself within, so that you don't have these type of traumas that can lead to bad toxic traits that you actually subconsciously express to people, but you don't know. So it's very important that we're all going back to our childhood, learning what we need to learn and work on, so that when we do coming to an adult, we're not taking, because remember, everything starts with a mental seed. So you have to see that as you being a child. you being that mental seed, and then it growing into a tree. Now the fruits that you bear, aka your actions and your thoughts and feelings and your experience that you're giving and your energy that you're giving to other people, are these fruits, when they eat it, do they feel good? Do they feel replenished? Do they feel energized to do things also? Or is it when they eat your fruits, they feel bitter? They feel like, oh, I can't do things. I'm lacking. Or I feel like I'm insecure. So the fruits that you're giving to the masses, it has to be fruits that can actually empower people and give people energy and be very fruitful and healthy for their balance, their diet, aka their experience. So you have to be very careful what type of fruit you're giving onto people, because eventually, if your fruits are always rotten, then no one's going to want to eat from those fruits anymore. And eventually that tree will wither and die. You know what I'm saying? So you might be a big tree, you might be very big, and you might be a very old tree. But if your roots are very poisonous, then those fruits are going to be rejected by the masses. And that's how things work. And then it says, yeah, never allow other people's issue to spill over to your business. So never take on other people's traumas and karma that is coming for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you're doing energy cleansing, whether it's journaling, meditating, whatever it is that you allow to let things go and release energies that are no longer for you. That is your best way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And the more you do that, the more your timeline and your experience will be more something that is beneficial to you, and you won't be taking on other people's karma and other people's energy that truly isn't for you, but because you feel like, oh, I have to be aligned to this person because we have history together, or we have a soul tie together, or a family tie. Then you think you can still be around these people or be around their energy, but it's only going to slow you down and slow what you're trying to reach in life. So you have to be very careful of that and always have discernment. And then it says, uh yeah yeah sorry, be cautious who you allow to dwell in the space of your heart. Allow your mind to be imaginative. Show the world why you're a piece of art. So you have to be very careful who you allow into your space of heart. Your space of heart can also represent your actual home. I mean, your heart is like your home, because that's where you feel emotionally connected to. Just like your house, you feel emotionally connected to your house. You feel comfortable there. So, you know what I'm saying? You don't show your heart to just anybody, right? You show your heart to your dearest and nearest intimate people, whether family, friends, or partner. So it's very important that you're also doing the same thing within your home. You're not just allowing anybody to come into your home, because that's people bringing energy. You know what I'm saying? We're always creating energy, thoughts, and feelings. So if you're bringing people into your homes that really detest you, or really don't like you, or don't want things to go forward for you, or are jealous or envy, and they have this type of energy within them, jealousy and envy especially, that's very poisonous. So you have to be careful that you don't bring this type of energy into your home. So it's very important that you're doing, like I said, any form of cleansing, of releasing these type of energies, so that you can always be in a space of newness, a space of clairvoyance, and bringing something new into the world. And then it says, allow your mind to be imaginative. Show the world why you're a piece of art. So, a piece of art. You know what I'm saying? We all have our own piece within this existence that creates the greater vision of art. But we're all our own unique pieces, like a unique piece of puzzle. And when we all come together, we create the whole grand architect. You know what I'm saying? It's a grand architect of collective greatness and collective vision. So it's very important that you're shaping your piece of art to the best way of your ability, internally and externally. And once you do that, you can be able to put yourself into that vision, collective vision, and people can be able to utilize your piece as an example for where they need to put their piece. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you're doing a puzzle. Once you have certain pieces, you can utilize your discernment and be like, okay, if these are already here, then I know the rest will be over here and over here and over there. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you might be that anchor to put that piece in for yourself first and foremost, so everyone else can be able to see and realize where they need to put their position in into the piece. And like, if you try to put your piece into a shape or a space that isn't really fit for you, it will never work out. So it's the same thing. If you're trying to take someone else's energy or destiny that really wasn't for you, then you will never actually be able to fit into that space. You know what I'm saying? So you're always going to feel left out, and you're always going to feel like you're out of place, and you're always going to feel like you're taking someone else's thing that isn't truly for you. So you have to know where your piece is at, and then put it in your unique space, and then we can create that collective vision. So that's very important. Remember, everything we're doing in life is also being done in the spirit and also mentally. So you have to be very wise to know that, or else things will stop working for you. And then it says, don't run away from your emotions. Tackle the problem head on. In your photo of experiences, make sure a piece of happiness is part of the collection. So don't run away from situations that were very painful and difficult for you, because if you run away from them, eventually it's going to come back to you, just like a cycle, just like the clock. You know what I mean? The clock is always coming back to the same cycle that it started with. So it's the same thing. Everything comes in cycle. Not everything is just linear. Everything is in cycles, especially when it comes to time and existence. So it's very important that you know that, and you're not running away from it. And the more you can actually work on yourself and work on that situation, when that time comes back around, or that experience or that scenario comes back around, this time you'll be more prepared, you'll be more stronger, you'll be more ready, you'll be more alert and assertive to whatever you need to do to reach where you need to reach. And then it says, in your folder of experiences, make sure a piece of happiness is part of the collection. So in your folder of experiences is just like a collection of a photo frame in a photo book. You know what I'm saying? And that's the folder of experiences. You know, each page is a certain experience. Each chapter is a certain experience. And once you're adding those pieces into it, make sure that you're part of that collection, that vision, like I've said, of experiences. Because if you sit back and you give up on your experience, aka your destiny and what you're here to do in this experience and in this reality and in this lifetime, eventually that energy is going to leave you, because you're not utilizing your body to fulfill what you need to fulfill, to make you truly happy. Whether it's, you know, building something, whether it's inventing something, whether it's your passion and hobbies that you're into, no matter if it's big or small, even if it's something small like knitting, like you like to sew clothes or something like that, you could be the next greatest designer, you know, in the world. But if you never utilize or even try, that energy will eventually evaporate and go into somewhere else, or go into someone else that can utilize that energy and that inspiration for something that will work for them. So it's very important that you're utilizing your abilities and capabilities, and you're utilizing that into your hobbies or things that truly make you happy. Even if you don't make money from it, as long as it makes you happy, that is something that you want to do. Because your talents and gifts and talents is really your valuable assets, is really your actual money. Yes, it can manifest into physical money, but your internal riches is your gifts and talents. Always remember that. Your internal riches is your gifts and talents and your charismatic gifts. That is truly where the money comes from. It comes from within the soul, the riches of life. So, yeah, guys, that is a work of art. Now, let's get to the next poem. All right, so the next poem is Beyond All Things Possible. No time for hope and blessings. Don't linger around individuals that have you stressing. When interacting with others, stay logical. Within the mind, all things are possible. Beware of putting your energy into one basket. A true warrior remains victorious in all conquest. Never self sacrifice for another individual's baggage. The road to glory is limitless, however, a very narrow. The road to glory is limitless, however, a very narrow passage. In this existence, shoot beyond the stars with your mental arrow. Control all external outcome. For every puppeteer in the limelight, there is a puppeteer in the shadow. And that is beyond all things possible. Now it says, no time for hope and blessings. Don't linger around individuals that have you stressing. So instead of hoping and blessing and waiting for something to save you, you can save yourself by actually taking action by yourself. Instead of waiting for things outside to actually get you going, you can get going within. You can create that internal clock and that internal ticking time bomb within yourself. So you can be like, okay, I'm going to give myself from this time to this time to do this. And if I don't do it within that time, then I failed that mission, or I failed that scenario, or that goal that I want to achieve. And then it says, don't linger around individuals that have you stressing. So it's very important that you're not around people that's going to make you stressed. It's going to really drain your energy, be energy vampires, waste your time, set you on endless missions that really doesn't really benefit you or other people. So it's very important that you know linger around this type of people and you cut them off and only be around people that have a mutual receptive energy and you can both bounce off each other or bounce off each other's and help each other out, because it's very important that when you're utilizing energy, it's being reciprocated and you're not just getting drained. Because if you're just getting drained and you're not getting a mutual reciprocation back, then eventually all your essence and your life force will be gone internally. So it's very important that you're always, watching your environment and watching the people you're around. And then it says, when interacting with others, stay logical. Within the mind, all things are possible. So when you're interacting with others, stay logical. Okay, it's just like business. If you're in the business field, you're logical. You're not emotional, right? Because it's like, okay, I got this money, you got this money. What type of trade are you into, and what type of trade am I into? And the service that I have, I can be able to utilize that to help you, and the service that you have, you can utilize that to help me. And that is what business is. It's the transaction of energy, transaction of money. Same thing. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be logical. You have to be mathematic. You got to be precise. You got to be technical. You got to be analytic. You know what I mean? You're utilizing the energy of logic here. You're utilizing the energy of mathematics when you're interacting with others. You're studying the pattern of people. You're using mathematics. That's what I call internal mathematics. You're studying people's pattern. You're analyzing their patterns. You're analyzing the energy that they're mutually sharing with you. Is it a high value energy or is it a low value energy? Is this energy going to help me create masses of income, or is this going to be something that's going to drain my life force? It's all up to you. And then it says, within the mind, all things are possible. So within the subconscious, all things are possible. That's where creation's at. Within the dark subconscious world, that's where all the creation's at before it's manifested into the physical world. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things in the physical world that only came about from going within us. You know what I mean? Like technology, even certain things in nature was came from within. It's interactive from within. You know what I'm saying? Just like how you see with a woman, her period cycle is connected to the moon cycle. Just like the moon cycle is connected to the ocean and waves and things like that. So everything's connected. That's why you have to go out in nature to realize these things. But if you're indoors, then you won't know these things. Now, like I said, there are times to be outside and there's times to be indoors. I'm just saying that you don't want to look at nature through the TV all the time. You want to be able to go out in nature when the atmosphere and the weather is conducive for you to do that. So you can be able to study yourself and the outside world. And then it says, beware of putting your energy into one basket. A true warrior remains victorious in all conquest. So you have to be very careful. Once you have, like I said, you've analyzed the cycle, you've analyzed your environment, that's when you can take the direction. So first you analyze, okay, feminine, the environment, the space, the womb, and then boom, you penetrate. That's when you go forward. Okay, masculine, you penetrate the circle, you penetrate the cycle, you penetrate the environment with your vision, with your forward thinking, with your logical thinking, with your creations, with your abilities to penetrate the mind of the people to realize, okay, whatever I'm doing, you can do it too. You know what I'm saying? Just like you see people watching football, you see soccer stars. When you see them doing their football tricks, there are little kids watching these superstars thinking, okay, if they can do that, I can do it too. So what do? You go on YouTube and you search up, how do I do this football trick, and learn how to do that trick. That's the same thing. They're showing you, the viewers, that if I can do this, you can do it too. So that's how we're all here. We're all here to inspire each other, to show that whatever we can do, other people can do it too, just in their own unique way. Because we're all doing the same thing, just in our own unique perception. And then it says, yeah, a true warrior remains victorious in all conquest. So you have to be a warrior, you have to be powerful, you have to be strong. And the best way to know if you're a warrior is through going through certain situations. That's what a conquest is. It's you being able to conquer your limitations, conquer your stagnations, conquer your the things that set you back. Your imposter syndromes and things like that. Things that really make you feel like you're less than. Anyone outside of you that also makes you feel like you're less than, then that's something for you to prove to yourself first and foremost, that that's not something I'm going to inject into my mind. I'm only going to inject into my mind great thoughts, like I said in my previous poem, healthy fruits, not poisonous fruits, like things that make you feel like you can never achieve. You know what I'm saying? And then it says, a true warrior remains, yeah, I already said that. A true warrior remains victorious in all conquest. And then it says, never self sacrifice for another individual's baggage. The road to glory is limitless, however, a very narrow passage. So never self-sacrifice for another individual's baggage, because usually when I say never sacrifice for self-sacrifice for another individual's baggage, it's just talking about like in a seesaw, you have to take turns going up and down. So if someone tells you, "Oh no, I need you to stay down while I'm up for the rest of the ride," that's you taking someone else's baggage. So you never get to have a turn to go up and know how it feels to rise up and exalt yourself. You just have to always stay down grounded in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? But you cannot be creative and soar through your mind and be your true self because someone else wants to always stay on top. You know what I mean? They always want to keep you down. So that's up to you to get off that seesaw so that they can play with themselves. And when they're ready to create that mutual balance seesaw, then you can go back and sit on it. But if they're trying to make it just be a one-way ride, then just let them be a one-way ride. They can ride with themselves, and you can find someone else that wants to do that mutual ride with you. I mean, that's what creates energy. Just like the heart goes one, it expands and then contracts, expands, contracts. It does not just contract and stop, or it does not just expand and stop. There's a cycle of dualistic nature. So that's like a seesaw. It has to be a dualistic, mutual type of energy. If not, then that's just the universe or God showing you that it's time for you to leave that situation. So, yep. And then it says, in this existence, shoot beyond the stars with your mental arrow. Control all external outcome. For every puppet in the limelight, there is a puppeteer in the shadows. So in this existence, shoot beyond the stars with your mental arrow. It's just talking about shoot for the stars. It's really saying your mind has to be very expansive. It has to reach new mentalities. That's what I'm talking about shoot for the stars. New mentalities, new worlds, new ways of thinking, new ways of imagination. And once you can do these things, people will be able to see that and be like, wow, this is out of this world. This is unique. Just based off your characteristics in your teaching or your charismatic gifts or your inventions or your way of performing, whether in music or art or maths, logic, whatever way, whatever, if it's, left brain or right brain dominated, whatever you're doing, people will be able to realize that this is something not of this world. This is something unique. This is something that is different. Something new under the sun. You know what I mean? So it's very important that you're always striving to reach something new. You're always striving to reach a new frontier and make contact with something that is not of this world. You know what I mean? Not of this physical world, aka it's not been here before. It's not been visibly seen. It's been visibly seen internally. It's always been there, but it was dormant till you brought it into reality. And then it says, control all external outcome. For every puppet in the limelight, there is a puppeteer in the shadows. So it's just saying like your subconscious is like the puppeteer, right? And you're controlling the puppet, which is your vessel. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's just like your internal controlling your physical or controlling the external. So your puppeteer in the shadows is your mind, your subconscious mind, controlling your puppet, which is your physical body, which is, the physical reality. And once you can do that, that's when you're in perfect alignment because you're utilizing your internal to regulate your external. So now you're really going within. And that's where all the answers come from. It comes from within. So yeah, guys, that is the point for today's video. Beyond all things possible. Hope you guys gained something new from these poems. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you soon.